World Championship Wrestling, bringing you great wrestling action sanctioned by the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance.
World Championship Wrestling's on the air. Hi, everybody. We're coming to you from the Jacksonville Coliseum for 2 hours of the best in wrestling, the NWA. Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and David Crockett ringside. Today on our program, we'll see a match for the NWA World Tag Team title. We're talking about Barry Windham and Lex Luger, the champions, against Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. But that's not all. The Nature Boy Ric Flair is here. A big six-man tag team event. Our first look at the Midnight Rider in action, Jim.
Plus, David, we're going to see in Tony three of the great young lions, Dr. Death Steve Williams, Nikita Koloff, and Sting in our very first match here. And David, the Midnight Rider has certainly caused a commotion, especially in the camp of the Four Horsemen.
That's right, the Midnight Rider, he's a different individual. And like he said, there's something of the Midnight Rider in every single one of us.
As we speak right now, they're lining up outside of the Greensboro Coliseum, ready for the finals of the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament. Next week, we'll talk to the winners, Jim.
We sure will, right here. And plus, David, in this hour, we're going to see the United States Tag Team Champions and the World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, the Powers of Pain.
All right, listen, guys, we got to talk about, you mentioned it just briefly, return match for the World Tag Team title. That's going to be a great match.
And that's here today on television. David, with very exclusive interviews from ringside around the facility here. We're ready for action. Let's go to the ring with our first event. Event has Sting going up against David Isley, and there is no doubt about it, Jim. If there is any one man who you can label hot in the NWA, it's Sting.
He's one of the leading contenders for the heavyweight championship, now held, of course, by the incomparable Nature Boy Ric Flair, the Stinger from Venice Beach, California. He missed with that elbow, but he's right back up to his feet. And a clothesline on David Isley almost took him out of his boots here, Tony.
Sting, a man, as Teddy Long, you seen your referee momentarily, a man who has really captured the imaginations of fans all around the world. The influx of mail, the telephone calls at the offices of the NWA resemble that. But not only that, with his excitement in the ring, he's as good as they come, and a man who's come a long way in a short period of time.
You're exactly right, and he's going to headline an all-star card tomorrow at 2 o'clock in Charleston, West Virginia. The Stinger plants him in the corner, and we know what's coming up next, as does the whole wrestling world.
It's a hole they've never been able to get out of. Sting with the Scorpion Deathlock.
The Stinger with a Scorpion Deathlock. He's got it set in on David Isley. The Stinger with a victory here on World Championship Wrestling. And we'll take another look at it as David Crockett prepares to get into the ring and have a word with the Stinger. He's got Isley helpless in the corner, Tony, and watch him fly through the air, and he just plants him.
There's no doubt about it. The man can captivate an audience, and here in Jacksonville, he has got us off to a rolling start. There's none other than Sting.
And he sets in his patented Scorpion Deathlock. It is a devastating maneuver. He sets back on David Isley, and another impressive victory for the Stinger, who's in the ring with David Crockett.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is Sting.
Oh, David, ask me what I'm up to these days.
What are you up to?
I got a project going. See, I had 45 minutes not too long ago against the Nature Boy. 3 judges at ringside, J.J. Dillon up there somewhere in a cage. My new project, hold this right about there so I don't have to bend over. My new project, 60 minutes, 3 more judges, and hopefully if I can do it, J.J. again up there in the cage. Yeah, that's what I feel like that. Oh, bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sting. More to come.
a lot of stars on World Championship Wrestling, but there is one man that we have talked about and we have seen, and now we're going to have a chance to take a look at him in action. None other than the Midnight Rider, Jim Ross.
You know, Tony, our colleague Bob Collar and myself have to be at ringside for this one. The Midnight Rider is one bad hombre, ladies and gentlemen. And Tony, it was a very unusual and a very volatile interview after we saw this man in action. I think you'll agree with that one.
I think I will. Now let's take a look in action, the Midnight Rider.
Seen all kind of entrances, and there was one for you on Dos Diablo, the Midnight Rider. Bear Collie, the opponent, with a chair, but look at the rider. Big Bear Collie, over 300 pounds. But I want to tell you something. This Midnight Rider is big, and he is no doubt bad as they come. DDT on the steel chair, and Big Bear Collie has just been annihilated by the Midnight Rider. And how fans, only a matter of seconds. He's got Collie again. He'd already slammed him once to the chair, and there he goes again. The Rider took him out once, picked him up again, right back with the chair again goes Bear Collie, the Midnight Rider. Dos Diablo lost to twin devils, and you're looking at a devil in the ring up there now, the Midnight Rider. Well, I'll tell you something, Bob. What a crowd we got here. Magnum, the Midnight Rider is bad all the way down to those bad-looking boots, I'm telling you.
It comes a time. It's time for drastic measures. The Midnight Rider is all about drastic measures. He takes care of business in his own way at his own time. You know, trash draws flies. We're going to clean up the trash here in the NWA, no matter what it takes. It might not be pretty, but the Midnight Rider's here. He's going to be a force that some men are going to have to reckon with, and they're not going to like it.
Magnum, you think I could get a word with the Midnight Rider? It'd be all right? Man! And the Rider in the ring is clearing the ring. A number of them came in. They carried Bear Collie out of the ring, and the Rider would have none of that. We're going to try to get Jim Ross up there. I'd kind of like to have a word with you if it's all right. I'd kind of like to have a word with you if it's all right there, Ryder.
You know, I got a friend that's got a saying called "funky like a monkey." Me and my main man, Magnum TA. And the millions of people in this country, we're gonna raise some hell in Roanoke, Virginia. Now, dear, there's a saying in Colorado, and that saying is that flies always land on trash, and Tully Blanchard, you are trash. So now the ride of the Midnight Rider begins. I have one more. I have one more. I have one more silver dollar. So to the fans around the country, my DTA, the Midnight Rider, my host, Dos Diablos, I now bring you Tully Blanchard, Iron Anderson, Ric Flair, the Four Horsemen, J.J. Dillon, violence, violence, violence!
The Midnight Rider has spoken, and we'll be back right after this. Time out.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the City of the Angels, please welcome Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics!
The Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers. And they're going up in this event against Corey Stevens and Snake Watson in this tag team event. Jim Ross, and I know we'll be seeing Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express a little bit later on, the U.S. Tag Team Champions.
That's exactly right, and that brings up a very good point, Tony. And as much as the team of Stevens and Watson trying to get an early advantage on the Fantastics, that's just not happening right here. Big matches signed, Midnight Express versus Fantastics. 10 lashes go to the losing team. And if the Midnight Express lose, I understand that includes Jim Cornette.
We'll be talking to Cornette a little bit later on. Right now, double team into the turnbuckle, and a double hip toss right to the center of the ring. And now both men are up with a double elbow. The NWA is tomorrow night right here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni. Well, where we're telecasting from, of course, we're in Jacksonville for this telecast. But that's not all. The NWA coming your way this week.
So great action coming tomorrow night, as Tony says, in the Omni. Great action in the volunteer state of Tennessee. This Monday night in Nashville, this Tuesday night in Chattanooga. The Fantastics will be there. What a big card this Friday night in Washington, D.C. I'm looking forward to 1 week from now in Detroit. That's going to be a big one, Tony. We expect a great crowd there.
That's going to be at the Cobo right next to the Joe Louis. The Cobo Arena should be a big event in Detroit. Right now, speaking of big events, every time this team, the Fantastics, come wherever they are to whatever arena, it's always a big event because they certainly are a hot tag team right now. Right hand, that really set him down. Really set him down.
Fantastic, showing a tremendous amount of aggression here. They have had some of those physical tag team battles of the year with the Midnight Express and the United States Tag Team title. I'll tell you what, it won't surprise me to see the Fantastics wearing that coveted piece of gold before it's all said and done.
I don't think it would surprise anybody. And speaking of great tag teams, return match World Tag Team title, Wyndham Luger against Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. That's here later on today on this program. So stay right here with the NWA. Now Stevens in, a tie-up side headlock. Stevens holding right on to Tommy Rogers, belly to back, takes him right down in the man's corner. Stevens not able to get up quickly, but stomped right to the right side, that time by Rogers. To the other side they go. Elbow right in the chest. Great teamwork. Notice he was close enough just to calmly reach over and make the tag.
The Fantastic certainly ring strategist, double drop kick on a somewhat helpless Corey Stevens here. The Fantastics have certainly electrified this great crowd here in Jacksonville, Florida. I want to take this opportunity to remind the fans the NWA main event will be airing 1 week from tomorrow, that's Sunday, May 1st, 5:35 p.m. Central Time. That's going to be its normal time for the very exciting NWA main event. And in a special challenge match on that program, the big tag match, a team we're going to see here today, Barry Windham and Lex Luger, will take on Arn Anderson and Ric Flair on the NWA main event. The rocket launcher from in the lodge, Tony.
The fantastic rocket launcher. Calmly strutting their stuff. See many of the fans standing here. The Fantastics. Fulton on your left and Rogers on your right as Teddy Long holds her hands high. And here it is one more time, Jim.
We take a look at the rocket launcher. It is a devastating maneuver. Is it the equal of the Midnight Express? The Fantastic fans say yes, it is. And what a victory.
It is definitely fantastic, guys.
All these people, I'll tell you, Mr. Crockett, you know, we love being a part of these people right here because that's what makes the Fantastics. They are the true backbone to professional wrestling. And we love seeing all these pretty girls and all these great people here in Jacksonville tonight. But there's a special issue at hand, a situation that came up where we signed a match that if the Fantastics lost, we would be men enough to stand in the corner and take 10 lashes apiece. Also, if the Midnight Express lost, then that meant Sweet Stan and Beautiful Bobby would have 10 lashes across the back. But, go ahead.
Jim Cornette, 10 lashes, right?
Jim Cornette, 10 lashes. Jimmy, you failed to realize, brother, that one thing. You signed your own death wish, brother, when you put your name on that dotted line. Because if the Midnight Express win, and as long as these people support us, we know that they're going to lose. Then, Jimmy, we can't wait because we're going to beat Sweet Stan first for them 10 lashes, then Beautiful Bobby, because, Jimmy, we want to see the agony written all over his face. And when it comes to him, you know what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and the Fantastic's going to fire it up Fantastic style. And Cornette, you're going to be in for trouble, brother. I want to see his face when he gets those 10 lashes. That's right. You know, Mr. Crockett, first of all, it's good to be right here in Jacksonville because the girls are looking prettier in summertime. And you know how you spell excitement? That's NWA. And Bobby and myself are proud to be right here. We're tired of being human tennis balls, if you know what I mean, Jimmy Cornette. So this is just one way that Bobby and myself can get you, Jimmy Cornette. It's 5 lashes for Bobby, 5 lashes for me. And you're going to be ours. Because you're all through, Jimmy Cornette. You're washed up. You're through. Yes.
All right, Dr. Death, Steve Williams is coming up next.
Back in Jacksonville for World Championship Wrestling, as we're going to take a look at Bob Riddle, who has the pleasure, I guess, to go up against Steve Dr. Death Williams. And he wants to go nose to, why did he do that? I was going to say, if there's anybody that I would want to always stay on the good side of in this sport, it would be the doc.
Yeah, I don't want him making any house calls on me, I can tell you that. I don't need any surgery performed on me by Dr. Death Steve Williams, who has a doctor's degree in physical agony.
He came into this crowd here in Jacksonville with a big smile on his face, but determination. And now that scowl that you see put on there by Bob Riddle, standing press this time.
Man. Riddle's got to be at least 245 pounds. Dr. Death showing that scary strength of his. The 4-time Wrestling All-American from Oklahoma is as bad as they come, in or out of the ring. I can tell you that right now.
You're right about that. The doc puts Riddle up against the ropes. 4-point stance, explodes over the line, and nails him.
He's a man that has been a national champion, and he wants the biggest prize in his chosen sport, and that's professional wrestling. He wants a heavyweight championship, and he can get it with this move, the Oklahoma Stampede.
The Oklahoma Stampede. Intensity plus from Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
The 280-pounder is one of the most physically intimidating athletes in the history of professional wrestling. He has manhandled Bob Riddle here, and now we're taking a look at the patented Oklahoma Stampede, Dr. Death Steve Williams, 280 pounds. He's looking for the heavyweight championship of the world, and he's standing by at ringside right now with our colleague David Crockett.
Deep down inside you, Ric Flair, and find out what kind of man you are. Look into these eyes, Ric Flair. look deep in my eyes, and find out what kind of machine I am, what makes me tick. Because the greatest wrestling is here in NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions. And it's the finest athletes you'll ever see. Ric Flair, let me say something. You are the finest. Everybody is gunning for you. You are the king of the hill. I'm gonna start chipping that hill down until I get to you, until you sign your name on that dotted line. So Ric Flair, look deep, deep inside my eyes, because you're looking at the wrestling machine of 1988. And I'm coming for you, Ric Flair. I'm coming for you. Ah!
What a man, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. More action to come right after this.
Hey, Fantastics, here they are, those big strapping boys. Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan, the Midnight Express.
Big smile on the face of Jim Cornette as you take a look at Stan and Bobby, the Midnight Express. Certainly a team that when it's all said and done, I guess, as the cliche goes, they'll remember this team as one of the greatest U.S. Tag Team Champions of all time for the simple fact that during this month of April, it will be 1 year that they've held the titles.
Well, that's what Jim Cornette's referring to there. Cornette very proud of his team, and rightfully so. He does have a great wrestling tag team. No doubt about that, and they've got their hands full big time with the Fantastics in that matchup where the losing team gets 10 lashes with a leather belt. I find the most interesting, Tony, that includes Jim Cornette as well.
I don't know if oh, look. I don't know if he realizes that or not by that smile on the face.
Man, he just does that so blatantly. I wonder if that has ever happened to him. I wonder if ever in his life, on one occasion, that he has ever been lashed like a real man with a leather belt. And I wonder if he'll stand and take it like a real man. Well, we'll find out here.
Here he comes.
Jim Ross, you're real pretty pleased to see me here today. Tony Schiavone, you are too. You know, I'm just getting my form ready. You see, we got it coming up, a situation where the Midnight Express are going to be in the ring with the Fantastics. And not only have we whipped them on national television, not only have they tasted this belt before, but in this thing coming up, it's going to be the losers getting 10 lashes. If the Midnight Express lose, of course, Beautiful Bobby will get 10, Sweet Stan will get 10, but if the Fantastics lose, brother, Bobby Fulton gets 10, and Tommy Rogers gets 10, and I'm practicing because I'm going to be the one to give them to them, and I can bring it up with every leg, brother, tell you right off the back. What?
You didn't hear Jim Ross earlier. The NWA is
I never listen to you people, Tom.
The NWA has stipulated that not only will Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan get 10 lashes, but Jim Cornette, you'll get 10 lashes, 2 of your men lose.
You too, buddy. Yes, sir. You got me out of your mind. What's the matter with somebody? I'll kill you. Easy. You're the one. You're the one that got me. Jeez.
Settle down.
What are you talking about?
Easy.
I can't be last. I can't be last. Yes, you can. Do you realize what you can? No, I can't. Yes, you can. Do you realize what the Fantastics could do to me with a belt like this?
Yes, we do.
They can tear me to ribbons.
Well, if yours
That's not fair.
If yours confident as your man as you say you are, you have no problem, then, do you?
Well, of course I have no problem, but I've still got a problem because I can't let Bobby Fuller, Tommy Rogers near me with a thing like this in their hands would be a deadly weapon. They would peel a head off my back. You mean to tell me if we lose, then I'm going to have to get lashed?
I know from talking to Mr. Jim Crockett, that's the way it is. Have a nice day.
I can't believe
That's the way it
people
is.
would do this to me. Let me
You're
tell
the one
you
that started the whole darn thing with that stupid belt in the first place.
I'm starting to get sick.
You reap what you sow, Jimmy.
I may not be able to show up at night. I'm getting sick.
Take deep, slow breaths, okay?
I might be sick. I might not be able to make it. I might.
Yeah, you will. You'll be there. Your name's on all the contracts, Jim. You'll be in ringside
What's he
every
gonna
time.
do? Sue me if I don't show up?
You'll be there. I know
Is
you'll
he
be
gonna
there.
sue me?
Yes, he will.
Suspension mean anything to you?
Suspension.
Yeah. And if you don't defend the titles, you're not the champion. So you got to take your medicine if it comes that way.
That's right.
Sue, suspension to lose the belt. We've been champions for a year.
Well, it can all come crashing down in one smack of the strap.
All right. Well, look at that right there. That team worked fantastic. I promise you, instead of being in a ring with a Midnight Express, you're going to wish you were in a hospital giving birth to a 22-pound flaming porcupine instead of in the ring with us. I guarantee you that.
Okay, there he goes. Sorry to break the news to him.
Rocket launcher off the top rope. And the Fantastics, he is irate because he doesn't know how to react. He doesn't. I don't think he can take it like a man.
I'd love to see that.
I got to be there for that one. I got to be there for that match. Fans, don't miss that one because if the Fantastics beat them and they have proved that they can do that, they can do it with their own hole, this rocket launcher, then Master James Cornette will get the lashes that he has so long and rightfully deserved.
David Crockett will talk to the world champion Ric Flair right after this timeout, fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair, one of the horsemen.
Brother, is it great to have rapport with the hometown fans. And God only knows the state of Florida and every woman here loves Ric Flair. Now, Sting, you have finally gotten to Jim Crockett. You've got the 60-minute time limit. You've got 3 judges. We're going to Chicago, Detroit, Richmond. We're going around the world. But the bottom line is, pal, if you look through this vast audience and all the girls in Jacksonville, they'll all tell you I'm a 60-minute man. So 60 minutes or all night long, Sting, you're going to be mine. Now, Dr. Death, you girls know Dr. Death. You know Dr. Death. You're big and you're bad. But the people of my wrestling world like men that dress nice. We like limousines. We like jet airplanes. We like the finer things in life. Woo! So, Dr. Death, if this is your year, pal, then it's gonna be my century, because whether you like it or you don't like it, learn to love it, because, come on over here, David, we got room. It's the best thing going today. It's the National Wrestling, it's the National Wrestling Alliance, It's Jim Crockett Promotions, it's the Four Horsemen, it's the World Heavyweight Championship, and Nikita, Doc, Sting, y'all have to learn, boys. There's only one world champion. Get here, David. I've always shared the finer things with you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lifestyle of the rich and the famous. Woo! Check it out! Woo!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the world heavyweight champion, Ric Flair. Let's go to the ring.
All right, David, hold down the fort over there. Thank you very much. We are here with the World Six-Man Tag Team Champions. We're talking about the powers of pain and Ivan Koloff along with #1 Paul Jones. And in the other corner, we're going to take a look at MacGyver, Curtis Thompson, Bob Emery. 3 fine athletes, but you're talking about power at its best and experience at its best on this side, Jim.
You're exactly right. The powers of pain with Ivan Koloff, the world's 6-man tag team champions. They have to be considered, ladies and gentlemen, whether we like it or not, the best 6-man tag team combination in the world today. And Tony, obviously our criteria is they're carrying the gold. They got the belts. They got the trophy that proves that they are the best 6-man tag team in the world today. And they're going to remain that until someone can take the gold from them.
You know, one thing needs to be said here about Ivan Koloff. We always talk a lot about the powers of pain. But as you see the Warlord in, Ivan Koloff has been a successful wrestler in this country, in the world, for years. And right now, he plays an important role in the makeup of the 6-man team. He's like the manager in the ring, like the player-coach, so to speak.
He certainly is, and he has been, I think, one of the main reasons, one of the dominant forces that has made the powers of pain one of the great tag team finds of 1987, and the new 6-man tag team champions. They could reign for years because the Barbarian and the Warlord, young, agile, dynamic men. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about tag team action. Don't forget, oh, what a close line in the second hour here on World Championship Wrestling, the big rematch for the tag team championship of the world. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard will challenge Lex Luger and Barry Windham for the gold.
The Barbarian just chases Thompson right to the corner, goes after him, and the tag is made to Ivan Koloff. Not only that, Paul Jones at ringside, really the glue of this team, the mastermind behind it all. He's the coach. He has everything going now, and as you see Ivan Koloff just stomping away. As Jim Ross told you, Windham and Luger defend the belts right here today on this program. They are the World Tag Team Champions going up against the Horsemen. Jabs him with that righty crop, right in the rib cage, and now right to the steel chair, right to the left of us here. Jones with a boot, and nailed it.
Jones is still hammering away at young Curtis Thompson here. His 6-man combination, recognized as the most physical and the best in the world today. Well, I tell you, so much great action coming soon to Indianapolis and Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I know, Tony, we're looking forward to being in Houston at the Sam Houston Coliseum. Friday the 13th will be a very lucky day for one man, because one man will leave that building as the new United States heavyweight champion. That's the Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston, Texas, Friday, May 13th.
Right to the head. The boot now from the Warlord. And Ivan Koloff holds him up and fractures him right down one more time. There you see the big, powerful Warlord. Here's another man. Oh, what a move.
Man, that was a dynamic offensive move by a 330-pound giant.
I was getting ready to say another man who's come a long way since being in the camp of Paul Jones. You may have heard Jones said, bring another man in there, punish another one. Jones right now, he's got a championship team. He is just really bent on coming on national TV, punishing men, setting examples for other teams who may want to cross the powers of pain and Ivan.
And he certainly likes to take a cheap shot at every opportunity. And once again, as I said, 330 pounds at Thompson just slammed here on the concrete floor. And you're seeing why the 6-man tag champions of the world are as physical and as nasty as they come.
Kenny Long counted away. And the Barbarian with the right foot on top of the head. They are just relentless. Not only powerful, they keep the pressure on. Total offense right here. They have not taken a step backward the entire match. Soaping away now. You see Jones whacking, stalking back and forth. Thompson hit right into the back.
Tony, I'm tired of messing around. I'm taking on all comers. Open contracts. Just sign your name.
There it is.
Tony, you know, a good point here is that with Dusty Rhodes on a 120-day suspension, the Road Warriors got to find him another partner. I think the Midnight Rider is another great partner for those guys. But that was a devastating, devastating offensive move. And here comes the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. You have to be impressed at the way the 6-man tag champions of the world have competed here on World Championship Wrestling today.
Arms are high six-man champions. And there we go. We'll see it one more time, Jim.
Look at the impact of the Barbarian right off the top rope. And a vertical suplex position. Down he goes, and Paul Jones has a tremendous trio. Indeed, the six-man tag champions of the world have never looked any better. And ladies and gentlemen, standing by with another man that looks pretty good himself, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with David Crockett.
That's right, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And I can definitely see why men fight over this woman, Precious.
I gotta tell you something, you know, you wonder how can gorgeous Jimmy Garvin be in a bad mood with such a pretty thing standing next to him? But the fact is this, ladies and gentlemen, I said there was a black cloud looming over the NWA about a month ago, and it took the form of you, Kevin Sullivan, and I said you were something that had to be reckoned with. The fact is this, Ronnie Garvin, my brother, what you did to him is unspeakable. What you tried to do to my squeeze in the form of kidnapping her out of a public building is insanity. I get the same sick feeling inside my stomach when I hear news like it's safer to walk down the streets of Beirut than some streets in Los Angeles at night. That makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach, Kevin Sullivan. And I want you in the ring. I want your thugs in the ring. You think you've got my brother down for good? You think he's going to be laid up in some cripple home the rest of his life? Well, I got news for you, Pally. His last name's Garvin. My last name's Garvin, and I'll fight you. I'm not guaranteeing to all these people out here that I'm going to win every match that I step into the ring with. But when it comes to my woman and to my brother, which you're talking about my family, and you're going to try to push my family around, you're going to try to kidnap my woman, you're going to try to hurt my brother, you got another thing coming, Pally. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is coming, and I'm going to get you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the ring.
All right, David. It's Gary Hart presenting Al Perez going up against Larry Stevens. Certainly a man, as you take a look at one of the masterminds in this sport. Certainly a man, Al Perez, has to be considered one of the top men going into the tournament in Houston on the 13th.
He certainly does, Tony, and he has made a very physical challenge to the Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff. And I think if Koloff and Perez ever get together somewhere down the road, we're going to see a tremendous, tremendous matchup. We've already seen a taste of it before. But I think we have it just like the tip of the iceberg. Perez and Koloff are so evenly matched. And the fans that watched the NWA main event this morning here on the Superstation saw a great athletic contest, but with Gary Hart's intervention, and that was totally unnecessary.
Saturday morning reminds us that NWA Pro Wrestling with Jim Ross and Bob Connell returns at TBS. It'll be next Saturday morning starting at 11:05, Jim. So when they keep that tuned in there as we take a look at Al Perez. You know, we were talking earlier about the Midnight Rider in the NWA and seeing him and all the accusations that James J. Dillon has made. And the fact of it is, if James J. Dillon can unmask the Midnight Rider and prove to the world that he is who he says he is, which is Dusty Rhodes, then it'll be a one-year suspension. So when Nikita Koloff goes up against Al Perez, he's got to be thinking about the suspension of Dusty Rhodes all in one swoop.
You're right, Tony, and Al Perez is certainly no man that you want to go to the ring preoccupied.
That's right.
He is just a consummate athlete. I'm very, very impressed with this man. He has a great scientific background, but he has that evil genius of Gary Hart at ringside. And Gary Hart reminds me somewhat of Kevin Sullivan in that he is a very unorthodox and a very, very unusual man. Very unusual to speak with.
You know what is so surprising, I guess, as much as anything else about a guy like Al Perez, he flies off with a forearm, is that he is so confident and he is so young. And a lot of that has to be attributed to Gary Hart, instilling confidence in the young man, because you know it takes a long time to build up a lot of confidence in this sport.
You know, Tony, I was talking to several members of the Dallas Cowboys last week. Of course, in Dallas, Texas, we're going to be in Dallas. Coming back, Dallas, Amarillo. Looking forward to going to Seattle, Washington, some of the most beautiful parts of the country. Seattle, Washington, Milwaukee, all around the country, the NWA. Keep it right here for all the up-to-date information on great events coming your way. And Al Perez is certainly coming to Houston, Texas to take the United States Heavyweight Championship from the legendary Sam Houston Coliseum.
Reversal, Stevens sent him into the turnbuckle, but Stevens went right in and he met the foot flush right on the chest as Perez stalks the man and stomps right on the ribcage. You can just see and even feel, so to speak, the confidence on this man, Al Perez. Hart right down at ringside. There you see Gary Hart. He's going to get a left hand in, and Gary Hart has been known to throw a few fine punches in his day also. He's from Chicago, and he's a mean comer at ringside. As you see now, Perez picking the man up. Such power and agility in this man. Oh, what a power slam.
Modified slam there by Al Perez, and he is poetry in motion, and there is the spinning toe hold. And he can, look how deep he's got it locked in. He's going to tear that young man's cartilage right out. He's going to rip it right out if he doesn't submit.
Yeah, that's it.
Good decision by Teddy Long to stop it. He said the man had had enough. Good decision, good officiating, and a great victory for Al Perez. He could be the leading contender for the United States title when it's all said and done. And, of course, in just a few seconds, David Crockett's going to have the opportunity to talk with Gary Hart and with Al Perez. But, Tony, let's take another look at it right here. He set him up with the power slam. He really controlled the match, and then we see a perfectly executed spinning toe hold.
And it's Nikita Koloff, the man he's thinking about, and a man that will be in that tournament also. Nikita will be coming up a little bit later on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have David Crockett with Gary Hart and Al Perez right after this.
Al Perez and Gary Hart.
Okay, the most important thing right now in the National Wrestling Alliance is going to take place in Houston, Texas, Sam Houston Coliseum, the 13th of May, to crown a new United States heavyweight champion. And as you see, this wrestling machine, the Latin heartthrob in our area, in Texas, where they really appreciate wrestling, there's only going to be one winner. Now, there's people like Nikita that's in it. Yeah. Also, this bourgeois attitude about who is or who isn't the Midnight Rider. Well, if we get a chance in the Sam Houston Coliseum, I want everybody to know on the 13th of May, we're going to find out if it comes down to the Midnight Rider and Al Perez. Two things are going to be accomplished. Number one, you're going to have a new United States champion. And number two, we're going to find out who the Midnight Rider is. You know, and I know, and the world knows that it's none other than Dusty Rhodes. Ain't nobody that ugly, no matter you put a mask on or not. You know you ugly, but you're gonna see something you ain't never saw before in Houston. You're gonna see the mask taken off, and we're gonna prove the Midnight Rider is a ripoff. And if you believe in it, you a ripoff too.
No.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
lie to American public or the world.
I wouldn't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikita Koloff is coming up next.
Our next match is Nikita Koloff against Crusher Knopf. Before the match gets started, we get cards, letters, phone calls from all over the world. Happy birthday to Angie Moore, also to Kathy, Chris, and Karen Gillis, some of our best fans across the world watching on World Championship Wrestling.
The fans here in Florida are just great. Of course, we're looking forward to being in Tallahassee, Florida, just in the next few weeks. Great event scheduled for there. Tony, I know you and I are looking forward to being there. David Crockett will be there. Whole crew. Should be a lot of fun in Tallahassee. Look forward to seeing the fans there.
Koloff is just mauling Crusher into the turnbuckle. Now big kick, and I mean that is a lot of power behind that elbow.
The big man is out on his feet. Oh, the Russian sickle! What a physical, dominating man. He'll be ready for Al Perez. He knows what it's like to wear the United States heavyweight title. He'll be ready on Friday the 13th. Would you like to look at that face on Friday the 13th? Not me.
Even though Dusty Rhodes has been suspended 120 days, his super partner, and even though the threat is there of a suspension of 1 year, and JJ's theory proves right, Nikita Koloff is one-man wrecking machine. Coming up, match for the World Tag Team title.
is for the World Tag Team Championship. One fall or television time remaining. Introducing first the challengers, led by J.J. Dillon. Introducing first at 236 pounds from San Antonio, Texas, Tully Blanchard. His partner weighs 265 pounds. From the state of Minnesota, the enforcer, Arn Anderson. Their opponents are the tag team champions of the world. Introducing first at 252 pounds from Sweetwater, Texas, Barry Windham. His partner weighed in at 274 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, the total package, Lex Luger.
You can feel it. It's electricity. It's the return. NWA World Tag Team title of fans here in Jacksonville. And there you see Teddy Long holding up the trophies. But it goes much further than this for these four men. It's a sense of pride. It's a sense of knowing that you're the best in the sport. Not only with the belts around your waist, but on national TV, giving it your best.
You know, Tony, I've been very fortunate in my life to officiate a lot of state championship ball games, college championship games. The electricity in this facility, and more specifically, right in the ring where I was just moments ago, you could cut the intensity and the emotion with a knife. This is a heated rivalry right here. It's for the tag team championship of the world, and folks, it really should be a classic.
Windham and Arn Anderson, the men who start, as Dillon walks around at ringside. Windham and Luger have become a fine tag team, better and better, even though they have the belts right now, with each match they have.
You're exactly right, and I'll tell you something. I think their friendship and the caring that they have for each other has been a major point in their success. They believe in each other. And that's something that's very, very important in athletics, especially in a team sport. You've got to believe in your teammate, and they certainly do.
We have known for so long about Barry Windham, one of the finest wrestlers in the world. And now that he has one half of the World Tag Team Champions, that just solidifies that. We've had talked for so much about Windham without a title at one time. He was, as you know, has been in battles with Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight title. He's been the Western States Heritage Champion. And right now on top of the tag team scene of the world, great arm drag, taking Blanchard down. He is such a master at taking your momentum away from you and turning it against you.
He won't make many mistakes, and that was a dynamic arm drag, takedown, wrist lock. He'll twist it one time, and Blanchard's down on his knees. Here are two Texas natives, and the tag has been made. The total package up on the second rope. Crashing down on the arm of Tully Blanchard.
The formative years for Lex Luger. First year of this sport was started right down here in the state of Florida. So in many ways, even though he's from Chicago, this is like home to him, and the fans really respond. Right now, tugging on the arm. We talk about men who have held titles. What about this man, Tully Blanchard? He's a man in that tournament for the U.S. Heavyweight title, the man who has held many titles, including the World Tag Team belts.
You're exactly right. A man that held the World Television title longer than anybody else ever in the NWA. What a tag. Great move by Windham, and they have just seized the momentum from Blanchard and Anderson at the beginning of this match, and they're not going to give it back to him.
It is so important to grab the early momentum, to wear the team down early, to get your opponent to think, can I really win? Can we really do it in this match? It's very important. It's all Windham and Luger right now. But Blanchard came off of the ropes and nailed Barry Windham. One more time, Windham over the top. Great move, and flips him over with the feet. What a great series of moves from a couple of great athletes.
Windham's agility is scary, and Windham is really cooking here. Arm drag takedown into the arm bar, and Barry Windham has stepped out front and electrified this crowd here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, Florida, in this battle for the Tag Team Championship of the world.
As Wyndham was holding onto the arm, just staring down Arn Anderson. A real stone look on the face of Barry Windham right there. And the package in one more time. It goes right underneath.
Luger preventing Blanchard from getting close enough to make the tag to the enforcer, Arn Anderson. Did he make the tag?
I think he did. He made the tag. Now here's Arn Anderson, left hand. Teddy Long was in the other side that time. Did not see the tag. Therefore, as you see, a bewildered James J. Dillon will not allow the tag. Anderson back outside. Look at JJ.
Well, that was a pretty good trick there by Barry Windham. He didn't tag Lex Luger either. He slapped his hands together. The referee probably thought he heard a tag. Well, if they get by with one there, they're a long way behind the Horsemen, because they're certainly the masters at pulling a trick here and there, no doubt about that.
But against the Horsemen, you'll take any break you can get.
Sure will, Tony. That's a good point. And when the match that is this important, not only is it for the World Tag Team Championship, but right here on national television, the stakes are doubly high for these four superb athletes.
Barry Windham just teasing with Tully now, letting him slip over towards Arn, and just about the time he makes a tag, Windham will drag him back by that left arm. You see the pain now on Tully Blanchard as Barry Windham has it cinched up. That hammerlock, and now with the knee right down on top of the arm.
Windham has mastered the ability to utilize his height and his reach for a leverage advantage. It's a natural physical gift that he has, and he's used it very, very well. There was a rake to the eyes. Did he make the tag? Yes, he did. The tag has finally been made. And Blanchard has sustained a lot of punishment. And now let's see if Windham can control the tempo with the enforcer in there.
You know, we talked about getting the momentum, and it's easy once you have the momentum going your way, the fans behind you, to let your adrenaline flow and go into the corner. But wisely, Windham, showing how much of a veteran he is, took a step back after the tag was made and made Anderson come out of the neutral cutter. But that's Windham nailed him. I was going to say, that's where you don't want to have Anderson in the corner, but Windham really stood him up that time. And a reversal to the neutral corner. There he is. He's always one step ahead, and that's Arn Anderson.
Anderson's up on the top rope, but Windham just buried the right hand to the midsection. And he's going to slam him from the top. 260 pounds. The enforcer just came crashing from the top rope. Windham setting him for the figure four. He's got it locked in, and he's in the center of the ring. Blanchard raked the eyes. That's going to make it break. That's going to cause the break right there.
It sure did. If anything was a symbol right there, that figure four slapped right back at the Horseman from Barry Windham. He can put it on with the best of them. And now front face lock. Now the crowd. Teddy Long was asking the crowd if the tag had been made, and the crowd is going to say yes. Although I didn't see what happened. It's Tully Blanchard, and Teddy is calling for the break and asking for Arn to come back in.
But the punishment had been done. The punishment had been done. That was a great tag team move by Tully Blanchard, excuse me. Tony, I'm excited here at ringside, but the match is important. How can he help but get excited here?
Arn Anderson did not expect that one from Windham, who landed on his feet and nailed him in the side of the head. Windham in the neutral corner, and now the tempo starts to flow just a little bit inside of Barry Windham. The right hand, second time, top of the head, three. You hear the fans counting away.
Those big hands from the Sweetwater, Texas native, hammering down on Arn Anderson's head. Put some knots on your head, I'll tell you that, and what a forearm.
Barry has really gone on out. He has been in the ring most of the match, and he's gone after both of them. But that headbutt to the midsection will check anybody at all, Jim Ross. And now back once again to a neutral cutter. To the other side, Windham back to the turnbuckle. Sunset flip, got him down, got a 1-2 only. And Tully Blanchard kicked out of it, quickly made a tag to Arn Anderson.
He made the tag, and then he held on to Barry Windham. That might have been the most important thing he did. It's the best thing he could do after he made the tag was to not let Windham get to the corner. And now the Horsemen have turned the momentum. They are controlling the tempo of this match.
And a tribute to the Horsemen not only coming back in this match, but the fact that they lost the World Tag Team belts to Wyndham and Lex Luger, but they have maintained that top level as always. They have not dropped a notch. You've seen them in non-title matches against other opponents. They are still the same tag team.
You're right, Tony. They haven't slacked off a bit. As a matter of fact, they've trained harder. They've worked harder. They spent more time looking at tape, more time in closed-door strategy sessions. They are ready for this match and to win back their titles.
Regardless what you think of him, that is a mark of a champion with or without a belt. To keep working hard, even through the slow times. Wyndham, knee lifted Arn Anderson almost into the heavens that time. Anderson reaches up, makes the tag. Wyndham gets it also.
It helps him be 6'6". He made that tag, and Luger is cooking here. Power slam on a package. Luger signifying to this crowd with a human torture rack.
He wants to end it right now. Luger, calling for the torture rack. We gotta take a break, fans. Don't you dare go away. All right, here on the Superstation World Tag Team title event, and Luger is really taking the brunt of some punishment during the break.
He certainly has, but you look at the package is fighting back. He is a fighter, no doubt about it, as is Barry Windham. Oh, another DDT! I've never seen a man sustain 2 DDTs and continue a match ever in wrestling. And Tully Blanchard knows he's got the pin!
And that was so close. That was the closest they come. Dillon thought it was over. Blanchard did the wise thing. As soon as he made a tag, he was in there on the man. He thought it was over. But the athletic ability of Lex Luger stayed in there, and Luger caught a shoulder right on the steel railing.
Barry Windham over there to check on his good friend Lex Luger. His partner's in and out of the ring. Barry there protecting his partner, but Luger has sustained 2 DDTs and just been nailed there on the outside.
Wyndham is ushered back over by Long. You see Arn Anderson with a throw against top rope. Luger rolls out one more time. He can hardly stand up. And a boot in the rib cage from Dillon from the blind side.
Dillon with those street shoes, leather sole shoes, buried the point of it to the solar plexus of Lex Luger. And Luger out across the steel railing here by Arn Anderson. And once again, Barry Windham comes to the aid of his fallen comrade, his partner.
You know, Luger's taking some beatings, but right now, it's as much beating we've ever seen Luger take. And he's rolled back in the ring by Blanchard. Here's your cover. Long comes from the blind side himself and makes a 2 count only. Needs a tag. Go ahead, Jim.
Luger has such great strength, Tony, that instinctively he lifted himself right out of that pinning predicament. Oh, he hung him out on the bottom rope.
Right across the chest, the pecs. And Luger, winded, dazed. Wyndham, ill-advised, comes in to help out his comrade. But there's nowhere to go except ushered back out one more time. To the other side, Arn Anderson. The spine buster. He thinks it's over.
This has got to be it right here. Oh, gosh, what power! 2 DDTs and a spine buster. The package is kicked out of it. Blanchard now trying to look like he's trying to snap Mary, but Luger has reversed it. Luger's trying to get Tony Blanchard over in a pinning predicament. His shoulders are down.
And once again, athletic ability on both sides. Those big arms wrapped around Tully Blanchard, but he got out of it. And now, wisely to the corner with a double team. Blanchard holds on. Anderson, the enforcer, comes in, cuts off Wyndham with a left hand. It makes Wyndham mad. He's run back. And now, it is Arn Anderson at the throat.
Anderson now with a lateral press. Holding Luger down, but the referee is detained with Barry Windham. Count of 2.
Barry Windham early may have helped his own cause right there because there was a long count before Teddy Long got the count. And now Luger, another, maybe a second, third, maybe 4th win, coming back, the package to his knees, to one knee, coming up. You see Luger trying. He's got him up against the ropes, but he's in the wrong place, Jim.
He certainly is. The tag team champions had him in their part of the ring, and now Blanchard going for the figure 4. And the massive legs of the total package. J.J. Dillon's having some leverage there. man, this is a tense situation for the total package. I've never seen him sustain this much punishment ever in his career.
I think you're right. We said that earlier. How much more can Luger take? And we have seen when we thought he was out, the high kick out he had and really threw Arnie Anderson off. Luger, as you see that great athlete Barry Windham, Luger has come back and back again, but the Horsemen are going with guns full loaded at Lex Luger right now.
This battle, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us here, is for the Tag Team Championship of the world. And the challengers, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, are taking it out to the champions. This could be the move, the break that Luger needed to make the tag. Can he make the tag? Anderson's holding on to his foot.
Luger with a lot of effort, at least trying to get in the ring. Blanchard missed that time. But you know, that's a purpose to that swing. It's more than just to hit Barry Windham, even though they do not connect. It's to get him mad, get the referee's attention somewhere else.
Luger reversed the suplex.
Where that came from, I'll never know. And neither will J.J. Dillon, as you saw at the bottom of your screen. Windham trying to encourage his partner to get up, get up. He's going the wrong way.
The only good news in this whole thing is that when he finally gets to make the tag, and hopefully he will very soon, Barry Windham will be rested and ready. And what a collision. Two great athletes. What a collision there.
Luger, Blanchard, both men staggering, trying to get up. As you see Luger, he's up first of all. He got a knee.
He made the tag go. He made the tag and got knocked out of the ring. And Barry Windham, the big Texan from Sweetwater, is walking tall in the square circle.
Luger hit the floor very hard. There you see Blanchard with Luger outside. Luger to the other side.
Oh, God. My God, he went face first into the post.
He went down like a shot. Luger's out.
Barry Windham had it all going his way until that moment, and his partner Lex Luger, he was motionless over there, Tony.
He is still down. I'll be very surprised if he can even get up. Luger is down. He has not moved over there.
There he is.
There he goes.
He's trying to get to his feet.
Huh.
Oh,
they really hurt him.
Yeah, he's been lacerated. Oh no. But Barry Windham is the big Texan was cooking until that move by Tully Blanchard. Now how much longer can Barry Windham hold off the challengers? Luger seems to be out of it. I mean, seems to be completely out of it.
He cannot get to his feet.
I told you, Kitty, wasn't me there.
What's he talking about?
He said, and if I can repeat that, if I think I caught it right from J.J. Dillon, he said, I told you he wouldn't be there. I have no idea what he means.
He's talking to Barry. He said, Windham, I told you he wouldn't be there. What's that mean? I don't understand that.
Trying to get him off Blanchard. This is a one-man battle right now. Luger is still staggering. He is still on his knees. James J. continues to talk to Barry Windham.
Oh, yeah, Barry Windham. That might be the home run he needed.
There may not be a man there for him to tag, but by golly, there's a man trying to get up and quite a warrior in the ring right now. Luger. Windham made the tag, and Wyndham's upset.
That's Windham's run. Barry, no.
Oh, no. Luger mustered all he could just to stand up. What in the world's going on?
He's trying to put himself up. Luger trying to put himself up, and look at the Horseman, look at Windham. Oh, no.
Hey, Larry! The lariat! What is Windham doing?
I don't believe this.
What in goodness name is he doing? absolutely speechless right now. They are the new World Tag Team Champions, Blanchard and Anderson, but that's not the story right now. We are a witness to some stunning developments. It's the Midnight Rider who's made his appearance here. Luger is out cold.
The Midnight Rider to the referee out to the concrete. Luger is in terrible physical shape. But my God, he tried with every ounce of heart and soul he had to get back in the ring and help his partner.
What in the world?
It wasn't his fault.
What in heaven's name can Barry Windham be thinking about?
What possessed him to do that? Not Barry Windham. I can believe it to some people, but not Barry Windham. Not the Barry Windham you and I know, Tony.
No, you're exactly right. A lot of questions need to be answered. That is a stunned look on the face of Nikita Koloff. You see the Midnight Rider in here. Only thing I can say,
man,
it is total shock, not only here in Jacksonville, but I'm sure nationwide, as we have witnessed the last thing in the world we expected. What in the world happened to Barry Windham?
Luger was trying to get back in the ring. He did everything he could, and the Midnight Rider, I don't know where he's going, but he looks like he means business. Nikita Koloff, Dr. Death, and Sting are helping Luger out of the ring.
Well, it appears that, and I understand we are going to try to follow the Midnight Rider. Jim, as we do, I think, I'm sure we have sound back there. Why don't we just let the video speak for itself here?
Where is it? What the hell are you doing? What are you doing?
You don't have to do it to me.
You don't need to talk to me with a hood. Don't turn your back on me. Don't turn your back on me. Get the hood. Get the hood. Get the ass. Get the ass. Get the ass. Get the that's just the road. Get his face. Get his face. Don't just stand there. Follow me. Don't just stand there. Follow me.
Kevin Sullivan, I cannot believe what Barry Windham did. What possessed him to do something like that?
What we just witnessed was the biggest moment in the history of professional wrestling since I've been involved. You see, I told JJ I would reach my hand out. The Midnight Rider has to be stopped because he's a vicious, he's wild, and he's the toughest individual. He was going to get us all. Well, obviously, James J. Dillon, the evil genius that he is, did his homework. Because I mentioned one thing. I mentioned that you, Dusty Rhodes, even when you masquerade as the Midnight Rider, you have one problem. You see, right here, this is your heart, and it's as big as Texas, where you come from. And the thing that you have is your pride and joy. Barry Windham, we all know it in the wrestling business. You raised him as your son. And you said you will jump on lightning bolts, and before they crash, you jump on another one, and before it crashes, well, this one crashed. You see, your son has crossed the line. Barry Windham knew the lines were clearly drawn. James J. and myself said you're either on one side or the other. And James J. was right, because he's kept you in his shadow too long, Barry. You see, he's kept you down. You could have been a bigger star before this, but always in the background. In the background. Dream, what do we want me to do? Dream, why don't we take you to town? You see, Dusty? Even your son knows that darkness, and it's a hard, cruel world, and there's never a happy ending. It's really never happy ended. And Dusty, we couldn't get you. I'll admit it. When you put that hood on, you are evil personified and nobody could get you. But you almost took it off yourself because this is cracked. This is cracked. Your heart, it will never be repaired, Dream. We have defeated you. We have destroyed the myth. And your son now is in our side. He has crossed the line. The lines are clearly drawn.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the ring.
Well, those are quite some comments there from Kevin Sullivan.
That's a shame. It really is.
It really is. I want to tell you
It's a shame, ain't it? Shame. He did the right thing. He became a man.
Yeah, right. Well, that's your opinion. Nobody else.
Yeah, it's nothing like a wild man to follow up a wild scene. You know, it was almost like a car wreck. You know, things happen so quickly a lot of times that you got to really sit back and analyze what has happened. And I think when we went back into the dressing room and saw Wyndham standing there with Flair, Arn, Tully, JJ, the first thing I thought of, is he a member of the Four Horsemen? Is he the fourth horseman? That went through my mind.
We know that they've been looking for the right guy, the right man, but I don't, Tony, I'm sick about this thing. Not Barry Windham.
Yeah.
Barry Windham is one of the nicest people I have ever met in wrestling.
One of our favorites, there's no doubt about it. And people all over the country will think of that. But when the Midnight Rider went in there, another fact of the matter is, when the Midnight Rider in, he grabbed and pulled off that mask. And then there was nothing but pandemonium on the part of James J. Dillon, wanting the cameras to be on the Midnight Rider because he wants him exposed. And if he is who James J. says he is, if he is Dusty Rhodes, then of course 1 year without wrestling. But Barry Windham, who thought it would be Barry Windham reaching down there?
Oh, I don't know. Can you imagine when Luger regains his senses, how he's going to feel? Sullivan talked about Dusty Rhodes having a broken heart. Lex Luger left the Horsemen to come back and be friends with Barry Windham to try to achieve and meet all their goals.
Well, and not only that, Luger mustered up every ounce of energy that he had left. It was a brutal match, this World Tag Team Title match, from start to finish. And every ounce of energy he had was to even climb up on the apron of the ring. He was injured.
Tony, when his head cracked into that steel post, it sounded like a 22 going off. His body was literally trembling as he was trying to get back in the ring and help his partner. And Wyndham went to make the tag a couple of times, but Luger couldn't even get to his feet. I mean, my gosh, he ran that post going full speed thanks to Blanchard.
Fans, this is the World Television Champion Rotunda against Sam Bass. We want to make mention of that. But, you know, our mind is obvious with, in the 3 years I've been on Superstation TBS doing these, it's the most shocking development I've ever seen right here on the Superstation.
We've seen things happen. We could say, well, maybe Mike Rotunda, maybe his true self's coming out, but not Barry Windham. As you said, Tony, he's always been one of the nicest people to be around, and this is just simply, it's beyond description. And Lex Luger, who worked so hard to refine their tag team skills with Barry Windham, right here in the Superstation, won the World Tag Team Championship on March the 27th. To have it end like this, his championship reign, is just really sad.
Well, it's kind of quiet here in the Jacksonville Coliseum, and understandably so, because Barry Windham was a...
Fans, I understand that we are going to be able to show you the closing moments of that tag team championship matchup a little bit later in the program, so don't go away. We're going to take another look at it and try to figure something out here.
Well, you know, we talked, we'll mention it again, about Luger and how he must feel at this time about his good friend Barry Windham. Not only that, when you really key yourself up for a big match like Luger did and give it your all, knowing that Windham slammed him in, that Windham gave him the lariat, that it was Windham who finished off Luger to finally, for the 1 through 3, for Arnie Anderson and Tully Blanchard to get the title. Luger has to be sick right now.
I think at this point, physical pain is the farthest thing from Lex Luger's mind. Emotionally, the young athlete has to be devastated. Emotionally, he has to be devastated.
Okay, David is here with
Well, I just came back there from trying to talk to Lex, and like you said, he's there. He is devastated. He's just sitting there shaking his head. He doesn't know what happened.
Well, I know we'd like to talk to him, but I'm certain right now that Lex Luger does not want to talk to anybody right now.
I mean, these two men were like brothers.
Well, and it was Lex Luger who made it back from the Horseman. It was Barry who stuck his hand out to Lex Luger, and it's just a shocking turn of development right here. And we're just
remember in St. Louis when Barry stuck his hand out right in St. Louis. All three of us are right there at ringside.
Right.
Remember that situation?
Absolutely.
It's just I don't know.
Not only that, how close they were, but think about how hot they were as a tag team. This Wyndham and Luger not only were tag team champions of the world, they had the potential to be one of the greatest tag teams we had ever seen.
Oh, that's true. But Kevin Sullivan brought it up. You know, he's talking about what it did to the Dusty Rhodes, and also just think about what it's done to Lex in his heart. It's torn him apart.
You know, Alex Karras, a great football player, wrote a book one time and said even big guys cry. And I'm not obviously advocating that Lex Luger, I haven't seen him. And David, you saw him. But even a big man has feelings, you know.
He's close to it.
And he's been devastated, no doubt, with this situation. It's just really, really a sad, sad state of affairs.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at maybe, no, back over suplex from Rotunda. Well, only one thing left for Luger to do, and that's a maybe. Hopefully that he's back there to view this again with us as we will take a look at it after the break. I understand it's something that's going to shock us all one more time. David, thank you very much for being back there.
That's right, David, thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, taking one more look. Mike Rotunda. We thought he was going to use the airplane spin, but it was a fall-away slam. Rotunda with a very convincing victory. He is the world television champion. And we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, and take another look at wrestling's most shocking incident ever right after this timeout.
A lot of fans here at ringside asking, how is Lex doing right now? Well, Lex, I know, is injured. We saw, but I'm sure much anything else, it hurts right down in here for Lex Luger.
And the fans are also saying, oh, why did Barry Windham do it? I wish we knew that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go now to the closing moments of the Tag Team Championship matchup and the most shocking incident ever in the NWA.
And he's rolled back in the ring by Blanchard. Here's your cover. Long comes from the blind side himself and makes a 2 count only. Needs a tag. Go ahead, Jim.
Look at that's great strength, Tony. That instinctively, he lifted himself right out of that pinning predicament. Oh, get honey right in the bottom row.
Right across the chest, the picks. And Luger, winded, dazed. Wyndham, ill-advised, comes in to help out his comrade. But there's nowhere to go except ushered back out one more time. To the other side, on Anderson.
He thinks it's over. This has got to be it right here. Gosh, what power! 2 DDTs and a spine buster. The package is kicked out of it. Blanchard now trying to, look like he's trying to snap Mary. But Luger has reversed it. Luger's trying to get Tony Blanchard over. In a pinning predicament. His shoulders are down.
And once again, athletic ability on both sides. Those big arms wrapped around Tony Blanchard, but he got out of it. And now, wisely to the corner with a double team. Blanchard holds on. Anderson, the enforcer, comes in. Cuts off Wyndham with the left hand. It makes Wyndham mad. He's run back. And now, it is Arn Anderson at the throat.
Anderson now with a lateral press. Holding Luger down, but the referee is detained with Barry Windham. Count of 2.
Barry Windham in early may have helped his own cause right there because there was a long count before Teddy Long got the count. And now Luger, another, maybe a second, third, maybe fourth win, coming back, the package to his knees, to one knee, coming up. You see Luger trying. He's got him up against the ropes, but he's in the wrong place, Jim.
He certainly is. The tag team champions had him in their part of the ring, and now Blanchard going for the figure 4. And the massive legs of the total package. J.J. Dillon's happening with some leverage there. Man, this is a tense situation for the total package. I've never seen him sustain this much punishment ever in his career.
I think you're right. We said that earlier. How much more can Luger take? And we have seen when we thought he was out, the high kick out he had, it really threw on Anderson off. Luger, as you see that great athlete Barry Windham, Luger has come back and back again. But the Horsemen are going with guns full loaded at Lex Luger right now.
This battle, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us here, is for the Tag Team Championship of the world. And the challengers, Arn Anderson and Tony Blanchard, are taking it right to the champions. This could be the move, the break that Luger needed to make the tag. Can he make the tag? Anderson's holding on to his foot.
Luger with a lot of effort, at least trying to get in the ring. Blanchard missed that time. But you know, that's a purpose to that swing. It's more than just to hit Barry Windham, even though they do not connect. It's to get him mad, get the referee's attention somewhere else.
Luger reversed the suplex.
Where that came from, I'll never know. And neither will J.J. Dillon, as you saw at the bottom of your screen. Windham trying to encourage his partner to get up, get up. He's going the wrong way.
The only good news in this whole thing is that when he finally gets to make the tag, and hopefully he will very soon, Barry Windham will be rested and ready. Oh, what a collision. Two great athletes. What a collision there.
Luger, Blanchard, both men staggering, trying to get up. As you see, Luger, he's up first of all. He got a knee.
He made the tag go. He made the tag and got knocked out of the ring. And Barry Windham, the big Texan from Sweetwater, is walking tall in the square circle.
Luger hit the floor very hard. There you see Blanchard with Luger outside. Luger to the other side.
Oh, God. My God, he went face first into the post.
He went down like a shot. Luger's out.
Barry Windham had it all going his way until that moment. And his partner, Lex Luger's, he was motionless over there, Tony.
He is still down. I'll be very surprised if he can even get up. Luger is down. He has not moved over there.
There he is.
There he goes.
He's trying to get to his feet.
Huh.
Oh,
they really hurt him.
Yeah, he's been lacerated. Oh, no. But Barry Windham is, the big Texan was cooking until that move by Tully Blanchard. Now how much longer can Barry Windham hold off the challengers? Luger seems to be out of it. I mean, seems to be completely out of it.
He cannot get to his feet.
I told you, kid, he wasn't me there.
What's he talking about?
He said, and if I can repeat that, if I think I caught it right from J.J. Dillon, he said, I told you he wouldn't be there. And I have no idea what he means.
He's talking to Barry. He said, Windham, I told you he wouldn't be there. What's that mean? I don't understand that.
Trying to get him off Blanchard. This is a one-man battle right now. Luger is still staggering. He is still on his knees. James Ray continues to talk to Barry Windham.
Oh, yeah, Barry Windham. Oh, that might be the home run he needed.
There may not be a man there for him to tag, but by golly, there's a man trying to get up and quite a warrior in the ring right now. Luger. Windham made the tag, and Wyndham's upset. What's he doing? What's he doing?
Barry, no.
Oh, no. Luger mustered all he could just to stand up. What in the world's going on?
He's trying to pull himself up. Luger's trying to pull himself up, and look at the horseman in the ring. Oh, no.
Hey, Barry! The lariat! What is Windham doing?
I don't believe this.
What in goodness name is he doing?
We got new tag team champions of the world. Look at this.
Dillon walking out behind Windham.
Look at J.J. Dillon patting Windham on the back. This is totally disgusting. Luger trying every ounce of strength and desire to get back in the ring and help his partner. And look at Windham.
It's about the size you are. We got it all picked out for us. Great. That's your brother. Let the party begin.